10 years ago, Nikki Goeser saw her husband gunned down in front of her in a Nashville restaurant by a man who had been stalking her. Now she's speaking out on the need for women to take ownership of their own safety. One America's John Hines spoke to her.
Well, hello, Nikki Goeser. Thank you for being on One America News. And we also have Dr. John Lott of the Crime Prevention Research Center with us. Ms. Goeser, you say that gun control helped your stalker murder your husband. Where did this happen?
This happened in a restaurant in Nashville, Tennessee. At the time, Tennessee state law said that if you had your handgun carry permit, you were not allowed to carry your legal firearm, your permitted firearm, into a restaurant if they served any alcohol. So I followed the law that night, and I left my permitted firearm that I normally carried for self-defense locked inside of my vehicle. Unfortunately, the man who was stalking me did not have a handgun carry permit. He did not follow the law. He brought his gun illegally into the restaurant and proceeded to shoot my husband 7 times in front of myself and everyone in the middle of a busy restaurant. I will probably wonder for the rest of my life if I could have prevented that. Of course, I'll never know because I was denied a chance. I was stalked and defenseless. So I just try as best as I can to educate people about how dangerous these areas are. Women should not be left defenseless. Women should be able to protect themselves where they are. And I think gun-free zones are very dangerous.
Criminals aren't stupid. You know, if they can go and accomplish the same task with a lot less risk to themselves, that's the place that they're going to go and pick. I mean, we look at things like mass public shootings. There's a reason why virtually all of these occur in places, these gun-free zones. They want to go and kill as many people as possible, and they know if they pick a place where victims aren't able to defend themselves, they're going to be a lot more successful in accomplishing that.
How did you follow up? Did you become, I guess you're becoming an activist now. I guess that's the idea.
You know, I just feel like people need to be completely educated about these things, and people can just decide for themselves what works best to help protect them. But I think women are at a huge disadvantage. Men are just generally physically stronger than women, and I think that a gun is a great equalizer.
The benefit of a gun for a woman is you don't actually have to fire the gun. If you take a concealed carry class, they're going to say you're not the police. The benefit of having a gun is simply to maximize the distance between yourself and the attacker. 95% of the time that people use guns defensively, simply brandishing a gun is sufficient to stop the attack.
What inspired you to write Stalked and Defenseless?
1 in 6 women have been stalked in their life, and a lot of the information out there says, you know, you might want to consider changing your name, change your job, don't have a routine, get a restraining order. The list goes on, and it's mostly women have to completely change their lives, almost live like a hermit. And I think there's a piece of advice that is missing oftentimes, and that is you might want to consider getting a handgun. You might want to consider getting training on justifiable use of force. And you may want to consider taking ownership of your own safety and be able to protect yourself and your loved ones.
What is the frequency of this sort of thing occurring, Dr. Lott, where someone is prevented from defending themselves because of some kind of a gun control law?
What you can look at is what happens to crime rates, what happens to crime rates against women, what happens to crime rates generally when you have different types of gun control laws imposed. And what you generally seem to find is that gun control laws tend to disarm the most law-abiding citizens, not the criminals.
A lot of these gun control laws are made by men. Would you say that gun control laws are sexist in some way?
No one has ever asked me that, but I suppose they are. Yeah. Here's the thing. I think that women should be empowered. We hear this all the time on the left. Women should be empowered. Yeah, women should be empowered. They should be empowered to protect themselves. It's their body. It's their choice, right? Well, it's my choice how I want to be able to protect myself. So I would really like to see more women saying, not me, instead of me too.
Thank you for joining us on One America News. Good to talk to you.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.